Hello dear student, welcome back for Unit 7 Lesson 2. In the previous lecture we talked about some points or some notes that you have to follow in order to change an active sentence to the passive sentence. Now in this subject I'm going to talk about active to passive tenses, all the tenses that how are you going to change the sentences into from active to passive. First of all we have present simple. In present simple tense, when the sentence is active there is two kinds of verbs, base or verb plus s, but when the sentence is passive we should change both verbs to past participate. So we have the active, this is the active rule of the present simple, subject plus base or verb s plus object plus complement. This is the active sentence of present simple, and we have to change into passive by this rule. Object at the beginning plus is or are according to the object, and plus PP, or you can say past participle, plus complement, and plus by subject or object if he asked it, or if it's asked to use by. If the question doesn't ask it to use by, so we just follow by object plus is are plus past participate plus complement. This is the rule of passive in present simple. Let's see in examples. Okay. If the question says, of course, as I said, if the question says we have to use by subject and slash object. For example, they eat eggs for breakfast every morning. They eat eggs for breakfast every morning. This is then an active sentence, so we have to change it to passive. So we will change it to eggs are eaten for breakfast every morning. As you see, eggs are object. Okay, because it is plural, we use are, and our verb is eat, and the past participate of eat is eaten, and also for breakfast every morning is the complement, so we have to rewrite again. Another sentence, people advise us not to go out alone. People advise us not to go out alone. The passive sentence will be like, we are advised not to go out alone. As you see, we have us here. And as is object pronoun, so we cannot use object pronoun at the beginning, so we have to change it to subject pronoun, and the subject pronoun of as is we, and with we have to use are, and advice is the verb, so you have to change it to a pp, our part participation, so it became advised, and we are advised not to go out alone. As you see here in these two sentences, the subject is missing, so we change it to passive. For example, the first one, they, we remove it they, and in the second one, people, we remove it people. Another sentence, my parents give a lot of money to the school. My parents give a lot of money to the school. It became like that. A lot of money, as you see, a lot of money all together are is object. A lot of money are given to the school. The past participant of give is given. A lot of money are given to the school, and the subject is passive, so we don't know who give the a lot of money to the school because we change it to the passive. Another example, make a picture on the ceiling. Make a picture on the ceiling. This is an active and became a picture is made on the ceiling. As you see, a picture is object and it is singular, so we use is, and make is present, so we have to change to past participle, which is it became made, and on the ceiling is complement. He brings the letters. He brings the letters. As you see, it asks to passive by agent. So you have to use by agent. So the sentence became like that. The letters are brought by him. The letters are brought by him. As you see, we use after we change to the passive, the letters, which is object, are is verb to be because it is plural, and brings, the past participate of bring is brought, and by we use by, and the object of the sentence or the subject he, we cannot use single pronoun at the end of the sentence, so we should change he to him, or so you have to change to object pronoun, and he became him. This is passive by agent. The second type, we have past simple. The form of past simple is that the active form, subject plus verb ed or irregular plus object plus complement, and the passive form of past simple became object at the beginning, was or were according to the subject, plus past participle plus complement plus by or subject or object if the if the sentence is asked to use by or passive by agent. Let's see in examples. He painted the room yellow last week. As you see, we have last week. That's why we know that this is a past simple one. He painted the room last week, the room yellow last week. So it became like that. The room was painted yellow last week. The room was painted yellow last week. The room is object. As you see, was, we use was because it is singular. Painted, it is in past participle. The past participle of painted is it is painted as itself, and yellow last week is the complement of the sentence. Shakespeare wrote Twelfth Night. Used by. Shakespeare wrote Twelfth Night. So it asked to use by. So it became like that. Twelfth Night was written by Shakespeare. Twelfth Night was written by Shakespeare. Twelfth Night is an object, and was is the verb to be in past form. Wrote became written by Shakespeare, so we have to use the subject again, which is Shakespeare, or you can say by him. The teacher corrected the mistakes. The teacher corrected the mistakes, so it became like that. The mistakes were corrected. Why we used were? Because mistakes is plural and it has s, so you have to use were and corrected the verb in the past participle form. Another thing is the third type is present continuous. The form of present continuous in general, the active one is subject plus is verb to be, or you can say is or plus verb ing plus object plus complement. And the form of passive in present continuous became like that. Object at the beginning is or plus plus being. So after verb to be, you have to use being after pp or past participle plus complement and plus by if it's asked. So we can recognize present continuous by now or at the moment. If there is now or at the moment in the sentence, that or we know that it is a present continuous. For example, the place flowers on the window. The place flowers on the window. Passive form now. So it became like that. The windows are being flowered now. The windows are being flowered now. As you see, the windows is object. So we write at the beginning, and we use are because it is plural, and being as it is shown in the rule or in the form, and flowered, which is the verb, and we have changed it to past participle, and flowered now. So also you have to rewrite now as a complement. Another one, the postman is delivering the mail. The postman is delivering the mail. Also, we know that it is present continuous because there is verb to be in the sentence and verb ing to the verb. So, and it's asked to use by. So it became like that. The mail is being delivered by the postman. The mail, which is the object, is being delivered by the postman. They are washing my car now. They are washing my car now. So the sentence became like that. My car is being washed. My car is being washed because my car is singular and being is shown in the rule, and wash is the past participle form of the verb wash. Another sentence that we have is past perfect. The form of past perfect is subject plus had plus pp or past participle plus object plus complement, and the form of active became like that. Object plus had plus being plus pp plus complement. This is the form of the form passive of past perfect. Let's see in examples. Clean the house for the welcoming guests. Clean the house for the welcoming guests. So it became like that. The house had been cleaned for the welcoming guests. The house, which is the object, had been cleaned for welcoming guests. So we have to write had been as it given to the rule. Another sentence: she had left him in the park. She had left him in the park. So it asked to use by. So it became like that. He had been left in the park by her. So as you see, him here, which is object pronoun, so you have to change to he, and had been is it shown in the rule? Had because it's past perfect, but because we have had left, and left which is in past participated form. So you have to rewrite as itself. In the part which is complement, and ask to use by. So you have to rewrite by, and she became her because we have to change she to the single pronoun to object pronoun. Another sentence: the little girl had broken the window. The little girl had broken the window. So the sentence became like that: the window had been broken. The window had been broken. This is about past perfect. Another sentence that we have with the fifth one, which is present perfect. The general rule of present perfect is subject plus have or has plus pp plus object plus complement. The form of passive in present perfect, which is object plus have or has, again plus been, so we add been after the have and has, plus pp plus complement. We recognize present perfect by the following words like just, already, recently, yet, since, or for. We can recognize present perfect by one of the following words. Example: the boy has brought the books. The boy has brought the book. As you see, it is present perfect. Why? Because we have has here, okay, and we have the past participate of bring, so it's became brought. So that's why we know that it is a present perfect tense. So if we change to active to passive, it became like that: the books have been brought. The books have been brought. Why I use have? Because books here is plural. It has s. That's why I used have. And been, we have to use been in passive present perfect as it's shown in the rule, and brought the past participate of for bring. Another sentence: they have cleaned the clinic. They have cleaned the clinic. So that in the passive became like that: the clinic has been cleaned. The clinic has been cleaned. As you see here, I used has. Why? Because the clinic is singular. Jack has delivered the letters. Jack has delivered the letters. Which one is the object? Which is the letters is the object. The letters have been delivered by Jack. If we use by or passive by or agent, the sentence became like that. The letters is object. Because it is plural, we have to use have, and after have been, and delivered, which is the past participate of deliver, by Jack, or we can say by him, is using passive by agent. The sixth sentence we have, which is future simple. The form of future simple is subject plus will or shall plus base plus object plus complement. This is the active rule of future simple. And the passive form is object plus will or should plus be plus past participate or plus complement. Let's see in examples. Jaza will learn the lesson. As you see, we have will. That's how we know it is a future simple. Jaza will learn the lesson. It's asked to made to change the sentence from active to passive by using by or by agent. So it became like that: the lesson will be learned by Jaza. The lesson will be learned by Jaza. As you see, the lesson is the object, and will we write down again, and be, as it's shown in the rule, learned. So learn became learned by past participate, and by Jaza, which is Jaza is the subject of the, or we can say the doer of the sentence. We will take the horses to the stable. We will take the horses to the stable. If you change it to passive, it became the horses should be taken to the stable. The horses, that is the object. Should, we have to use should or would. Be, which is the rule. Taken, which is the past participate of take, and to the stable is the complement. Another sentence: Jane will buy a new computer. Jane will buy a new computer. This is the active one. If you change to passive, became a new computer will be bought by Jane. A new computer will be bought by Jane. A new computer, altogether it's object, So you have to use will again, be after will, bought, which is the past participle of by, okay, by Jane, or you can say by her, which is the active, or you can say it is by agent. Okay, the summary all of the lesson that we studied. The passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experiences an action rather than the person or object that performs the action. This is the brief or short definition of passive voice, or you can say passive sentences. For example, a mass of geese wrap around our planet. A mass of geese wrap around our planet. If you change to the passive, it became our planet is wrapped in a mass of gases. Our planet is wrapped in a mass of gases. This is the present simple of the active to passive. This is all about active. How are you going to active change an active sentence to the passive in all the sentences? I hope you understand very well. Thank you very much for your listening and watching.